Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Lizzie, and for today's video we are watching Let the Right One In. So I have seen this film, but I have not reviewed it. Double checked my channel, have reviewed this one. I recall enjoying it. So I'm excited because it has been a while since I've watched it. So I'm excited to watch it again and come back with my full thoughts. So we are almost towards the end. This is the second to last video. I'm excited, but sad at the same time. I hope that you guys have been enjoying this ride with me. I know there are a lot of you that have been watching and commenting on every video, and I very much appreciate it. So thank you guys so much for your support throughout this. It has not been easy. It's a lot of films to watch and a lot of time to do it, but I'm glad and I feel quite proud of myself that I have done it. So yeah, let's go ahead. I'm just gonna watch Let the Right One In. I'm actually just watching it on YouTube, and I'll be right back with my thoughts.
Du måste bjuda in mig.
Vad händer om jag inte gör det?
Okay, so I just finished with watching Let the Right One In, and man, this is such a good film. It is definitely like a long one. It is over 2 hours, but definitely totally worth it. If you are unaware of what the film is about, because I don't think I went into all of that, it is a Swedish vampire film that is about this little boy who is kind of an outcast in his school. He really has no friends, totally bullied, and he ends up befriending a girl who moves into his apartment complex who, spoiler alert, turns out to be a vampire. And yeah, it's just a really heartwarming but also heart-wrenching story of their friendship, and it is so super good. And there are some aspects about this film I kind of forgot a little bit about, mainly the little kid's bullying backstory. I kind of forgot about all that, though it is a very important part of the film. And I am definitely a sucker for humanized vampires. I understand, and I definitely still appreciate ones where the vampires are just completely brutal monsters, 30 Days of a Night. Those kind of vampires are great too. They're definitely terrifying, but I like when there's a humanized aspect to it, and there definitely is with this little girl. At one point in the film, I'm not getting into too many spoilers, but I'm going to talk about a few things. At one point in the film, she does end up turning this woman that she attempts to feed off of but doesn't end up killing, gets turned into a vampire, and you watch her go through it, and it's really sad. She is a side character throughout the film, really part of this group of side characters, so you've kind of gotten to know her a bit, and she ends up getting turned into this vampire, and it's sad to watch her go through that, but then you also think about Ellie, who is this little girl, had to go through that at one point in her life, and she does talk about you don't know exactly how old she is in vampire years, or I guess it'd technically be human years. I'm how do you calculate that? Is vampire years how just old they are, or I guess, yeah, how long they've been a vampire? I don't know, but you don't really know how old she is, how long she's been a vampire or been alive, but she does mention that she has been 12 for a very long time, and yeah, it's I said, it's heartbreaking and heartwarming all at the same time. There isn't a lot that I can there's not much that I can think of that I don't like about this film. Like I said, it is a bit long, but everything within it really like feels important to the story, and it's all very cohesive. And at no time do you really feel like you're getting bored. At least I don't. I think it's a very fantastic film. It's also very beautifully done. There are a couple small CGI moments that are like a little bit on the cheesy side. There's this particular pool scene towards the end of the film that you can kind of tell is a little CGI. And there is this actually pretty ridiculous scene. Probably the person I relate to the most in this film is this man who's just got like fuck ton of cats around his house. I'm like, that's my dude right there. But he like his cats at one point, the woman that I spoke about that gets turned into a vampire in the film, she ends up showing up at this man's house, part of this group of friends that I kind of mentioned, and his cats start to freak out and they basically attack her, and it's total CGI cats. Like, I definitely think they use real cats throughout different scenes in the film, but for this particular moment when they're attacking her, they're all CGI, and it's a little cheesy, but it's still all pretty well done. It is also a very like gory, graphic vampire film. Not really something you kind of expect when you're having a story that's very much like focused on children. But I think that's why it can be so dark and a little bit scary, is because you are dealing with children. It's kind of like I'm blanking on her name, but the young girl from Interview with the Vampire. A lot of people talk about how brutal she is. She definitely is, and this is kind of the same thing. You're this vampire who's been alive for so long, and you've lived through things, but you're stuck in the body of a child. That definitely has to be very, very frustrating. And with Elle's case, though, she is very much still a child. She is, even though she's been alive for a long time and is mature in certain aspects, she is still very much a child, which I think is definitely different. And I really, really liked that. And yeah, all in all, it's a really, really good film. If you have not seen this one, I highly suggest it. I don't recall if I mentioned in the opening that there is an American remake called Let Me In. I have not seen it. I've heard it is not as good. But if you have seen either of those versions, let me know your thoughts on them in the comments below. If you have seen both versions, let me know your kind of comparison thoughts as well. And I hope that you did enjoy this. Also, I meant to correct myself. I ended up not being able to watch this on YouTube because the only one that I found that had the film on YouTube, they put like a weird obnoxious filter of it, kind of I guess to block like the copyright infringements maybe, but it was just uncomfortable and weird, and I also don't think it had captions, and I don't speak Swedish, so I ended up watching it on Hoopla. I've talked about this app before, not sponsored, but is an app that all you need is your library card. So, if you have a library card, highly suggest checking out Hoopla. They often have a lot of great things on there. I've watched a lot of old films on there on this list, but yeah, I hope that you did enjoy this. If you did, please do give it a big old thumbs up. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button for more horror-related content. Before I go, a quick shout out to my Patreon. Thank you guys so much for helping to contribute to the channel. If you know the perks of being a Patreon, links are in the description below, along with all of my social media. And I will see you guys again tomorrow for our final video. Whew, we're almost done, guys. See you then.